Hey everybody, welcome back to Vedic Sage. I'm Dr. Dhaliwal, and today we'll briefly talk about the basic concepts of Panchakarma. Panchakarma being the complete detoxification process according to Ayurveda, which involves the 5 cleansing actions, which include Vamana, which is therapeutic vomiting, Virechana, which is the oral administration of substances which helps promote purgation. We'll talk about Basti, which is the administration of medicated enemas, or more simply colon therapy. We'll talk about Rakta Moksha, which is known as bloodletting, or methods thought to be blood cleansing. And finally, Nasya, which is the nasal administration of certain medicated oils. Now, Ayurveda is an ancient science of healing, and at the heart of Ayurveda is the concept of 3 primary doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Likewise, we can think of these doshas as being the organization of qualities which have vital functions of the body. For example, Vata can be thought of as the life-governing movements, for example, the electrical signals that travel through the nerve impulses of the nerves, the spinal cord, throughout the whole central nervous system. Likewise, Pitta is more of the transformative actions of the body, for example, metabolism and all the chemical reactions that take place within the body. And Kapha being the structural and self-preserving influences of the body, which ultimately provides for stability. Likewise, each of these doshas, or the organization of qualities, have a predominant region of the body, or more specifically the gastrointestinal system or the GI system, to where they accumulate. For example, Vata tends to accumulate within the colon, Pitta accumulates within the small intestines, and Kapha generally accumulates within the stomach. Now, as these doshas begin to accumulate and become aggravated, they can leave the GI system and enter into the general circulation. This outward movement of the doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, is the very basis of disease from an Ayurvedic perspective. And the doshas, or the qualities which enter into the general circulation, now seek out areas of poor tissue integrity or a weakened immunity, and this is known in Ayurveda as Kaivalgunya, which implies a defective space. So as these qualities enter into the weakened areas, or areas of poor tissue integrity, or the Kaivalgunya, defective space, disease then has a tendency to manifest within the deeper tissues of the body. Therefore, the important point to stress here is that initially, the doshas were safely housed within the gastrointestinal system, within the GI system. However, as the doshas enter into the general circulation and further into the deeper tissues of the body, effective measures are required to help rid the body of these doshic influences, hence the need for a detoxification process known as Panchakarma. Therefore, from the most basic fundamental standpoint, we can think of Panchakarma as a way of bringing these doshas, or the qualities of these doshas, from deep bodily tissue back into the gastrointestinal system, and then remove these excess doshas from the gastrointestinal system as effectively as possible. For example, as Kapha moves from the deep bodily tissue and returns back to the gastrointestinal system, Kapha has an affinity for the stomach. Likewise, Pitta, from the deep bodily tissue back to the gastrointestinal system, will generally have an affinity for the small intestines. And finally, Vata, when returning back to the gastrointestinal tract, will have an affinity towards the colon. Now, once these doshas return back to the gastrointestinal system, we can then effectively remove these doshas. For example, Kapha being predominant within the stomach can now be removed through therapeutic vomiting, which is known as Vamana. Likewise, as Pitta is predominantly within the small intestines, we can remove this excess of Pitta through a process of purgation known as Virechana. And finally, Vata being predominantly within the colon can be removed using medicated enemas or colon therapy known as Basti. So this was just a very simple, brief overview of the detoxification process known as Panchakarma. Likewise, prior to Panchakarma, one needs to consider proper preparation for PK or Panchakarma, and this is known as Purvakarma, and it involves oleation known as Snehana. Likewise, there's a process of sweating known as Swedana. This helps to loosen up the toxins and to dilate the channels to where the toxins and the excessive doshas can return back to the gastrointestinal tract. Okay guys, this was just a very basic, simple video on the fundamental concepts centered around Panchakarma, and we'll go into each of these topics in greater detail. If you have any questions, feel free to post them down below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, take care.